Hey, my handsome ladies and gentlemen, this is Shmeaty, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a team that I've built in preparation for the next season. Yes, the World's 2024 move update announcement had me so excited for the next season, I decided to run these three Pokemon, Machamp, Ariados, and Clefable, which are in no way, shape, or form viable in the climate of the Open Great League currently in this season. And that is right, Machamp is getting a buff with Karate Chop now being more akin to a move like Fairy Wind or Thunder Shock. Poison Sting is getting a damage buff on Ariados, and Fairy Wind is also getting a damage buff on Clefable. Without keeping you guys too much longer, let's hop into these matches. We're going to be kicking things off with game number 1, leading Shadow Machamp into Lanturn. This is not really the best thing for my team to see. I have a whole lot of neutral play into it, and I'm going to build up 7 counters and the cross chop, and they catch onto their charge bug, and even worse for me, get the full sneak of a volt switch. That is so bad. I am going to fire off another cross chop onto the charge bug, as that first one did do some sizable damage to it. They're going to put up a shield on that second cross chop, and now I'm just bringing in Ariados. Now this would be a time where I would like to have Mega Horn, as it would do some big damage onto this charge bug, and they would have a lot of incentive to no shield, just like they have a lot of incentive to no shield this cross poison, and we do not get the boost. For those unaware, and probably is going to be pretty helpful to know in the next season, cross poison has the same boost chance and energy cost as Night Slash. So if you guys are annoyed with Annihilate always boosting on you, well, now you have another thing to worry about in Ariados. Gonna bring in the Clefable here to soak up the energy. We know all the moves on this charge bug are resisted, but we are still gonna put up a shield for absolutely no reason at all. I don't even know what I was thinking at that point in time, to be completely fair with you guys. They're going to bring in the Ferrothorn, and in comes my Machamp looking to cook up here. We're going to fire off this cross chop to do some hefty damage onto the Lanturn. With no shields remaining, Machamp is going to do some big damage to the Lanturn. It's not quite a Simon. They are going to leave with the move, unfortunately, so I am going to have to throw this Meteor Mash. Meteor Mash here is very important for me to throw, as if not, I would have to either give up the shield against the Lanturn, or I would have to take big damage and basically not be able to come out of this matchup alive. Gonna fire off the first Moonblast. Moonblast is going to do some solid damage onto the Ferrothorn, even though it's resisted. They are gonna fire off a move back. I'm gonna call this one as a Power Whip, as if they had Flash Cannon and baited me there, I saw an immediate lose con there. I'm gonna fire off this Moonblast onto the Ferrothorn. It nearly KOs. Are we gonna be able to pick up the knockout here? They need to not be doubled up. If they're at 100 energy, we will lose this game. Come on, Clefable. Are we going to be able to get the Fairy Wind down? We just are not. On 1 HP. They survive. GG's to this trainer. In the next game, Shadow Machamp is going to lead into a Shadow Dragonair. Not the most favorable thing for me ever, as Dragon Breath Fast Move Pressure, and Fast Move Pressure in general, isn't really good for Machamp to see. Another game, another catch onto a Charge Bug. Are you kidding me? This trainer could have potentially timed that catch a lot better. If they threw one less Dragon Breath there, they would have gotten a free Volt Switch and the catch onto me, and that would have just cooked me. But since they didn't, we're able to get this lunge off, and now this discharge is not threatening, so we are going to no shield the discharge. We can very likely live another one, but we are going to CMP tie with a cross poison here. Cross poison is definitely going to be enough to KO the charge bug, and they are just going to let it go, and we get the boost. Oh my goodness, it's a Gligar in back. This is terrible for me. I'm going to fire off the lunge immediately, hoping to make another move against the Gligar, as since they're going to be debuffed here, we might just be able to, but no. Ariados is much too frail for that to happen. So we're going to bring in our Clefable, and they think this is an opportune moment to bring in their Shadow Dragonair and throw their energy on alignment. What are you doing, trainer? They're going to fire off the Aqua Tail. We're going to put up a shield, and they are going to fire off another move here, but at this point, I'm more than happy to no shield this energy. Aqua Tail is going to do about 50% to the Clefable, but now we can get an energy head start on our Machamp, and if we're able to successfully pull a shield from this Gligar, maybe this game isn't over quite yet. Going to be able to fire off the cross chop, grabbing the shield from the Gligar, as they are getting increasingly low, and we've got back-to-back moves stored on our Clefable. We built up to 100 energy for a reason. We're actually one off. We were at 99 energy, but it's not going to matter. We are going to no-shield this move. It's just an Aerial Ace. Give me my Meteor Mash, and this game is over. GG's to this trainer. In the next match, it's going to be Shadow Machamp leading into Vigoroth. Couldn't imagine a much better lead than this. they are going to immediately pivot out into their Water Gun Lanturn safe switch, and although the lag didn't make it look like it was very immediate, they did immediately switch into the Lanturn. We're going to fire off the Cross Chop just before they're able to make a move here, and immediately bring in our Ariados for the catch. They are going to throw their energy immediately, 9 times out of 10 there, because they want the Machamp gone. They obviously don't want it to be on their Vigoroth, and now they are going to make a very hard fight for switch. They're going to fire off another Surf here. We have so much energy loaded on this Ariados though, and this is in cross poison range. But what I'm doing is going for a greedy undercharge to get a farm down of the Lanturn, and they are not going to go for it. They're going to shield up. We're going for another cross poison, and we are going to undercharge this one as well, getting extra greedy, and they did not think that we were going to be able to outpace them, but the spamminess of Ariados, 8 turns to a charge move with cross poison, is absolutely insane. We're going to be able to make a last second lunge here, and this is very bad for the opposing trainer. They are going to go into the next match debuff, whatever that matchup is, and now I actually have a decision to make. I have my pick of the litter. They are going to bring in the cringe Wigglytuff, and we are going to build up well past the Meteor Mash, looking to throw this Meteor Mash on good timing, and we do so. This Meteor Mash will not KO, unfortunately, and this is important to know for the next season. They lived that on 1 HP, and I overfarmed pretty substantially there. So, very good to know that probably in the next season, actually, since Fairy Wind is getting a buff, the Fairy Wind plus a Meteor Mash should just KO. Thank goodness. I hate that cringe Pokemon. Nevertheless, we are going to simultaneously KO, but with the Machamp alive in the back, that game's a win. GG's. 2 good leads in a row, as it's going to be another Vigoroth on lead here, and I'm happy to stay in with my Machamp. They're going to bring in a Mandibuzz, and honestly, I am just going to bring in my Clefable, and whenever Mandibuzz is forced to throw neutral aerial aces, it is in a terrible matchup. We built up a good amount of energy on our Machamp for later, as we know that we're going to be able to flip switch here. They're going to fire off another move here. It's just going to be another aerial ace. They wouldn't throw a Dark Pulse here because it is resisted, and we are going to be able to make this Moonblast, and Moonblast is going to do big damage onto the Mandibuzz. They no-shield it, and it KOs. In comes the Vigoroth, but this isn't necessarily good for the Vigoroth either. They're going to have to either give up a shield or take substantial damage from this Moonblast. They opt to let it go, knowing that we have a Machamp in the back. Fortunately though, this whole team does pretty well into counter users as a whole, unless they're named Annihilate. Anyway, they are going to fire off the Body Slam there. Body Slam will KO our Clefable, but now we have our pick of the litter, and we are going to bring in our Ariados, and they brought in their Trevenant. This is very good for us. We're going to fire off the lunge onto the Trevenant. They're debuffed, and now we are going to fire off this Cross Poison. Crucially though, from this range, Cross Poison will not KO, but the opponent top left did. GG's to this trainer. What an absolutely abysmal lead in the next game. It's going to be Shadow Machamp into Azumarill. I'm going to have to immediately pivot out here. Not going to do so with my hard answer though. No, I'm going to bring in the Clefable, and we get answered with a Galarian Stunfisk. I don't know what this trainer is cooking with the Azumarill Galarian Stunfisk core. That's a core that's like dated maybe a couple years back, but nevertheless, we are going to no-shield everything they throw at us here, and we are able to pretty comfortably live that Earthquake. We're outside of farm down range, and we're going to be able to make another Moonblast. Moonblast onto the Galarian Stunfisk will do some sizable damage, and now they underestimate the spamminess of Clefable. We're able to make that Meteor Mash. Meteor Mash here will determine switch advantage, and they are going to give up a shield in a dramatically good matchup for them. They are going to fire off this Rock Slide. It will KO the Clefable, but now I have my choice of bringing in Machamp and getting the farm down. I'm immediately pivoting out into my Ariados here, and in the back they have Goodra. Goodra is going to be doing a solid amount of fast move pressure with the Dragon Breath, so we're looking to lower that immediately with the lunge. That debuff is going to be critical, allowing us to live this Dragon Breath fast move pressure a lot more comfortably, and we need health if we're going to be able to take care of that Azumarill in the back. We're building up a bunch of energy and firing off the Cross Poison, which this is very close to Cross Poison, but as we're going to see, it's just outside of Cross Poison range. They live on 1 HP but get farmed down anyway. Back in comes the Azumarill. We can throw one Poison Poison Sting and the Cross Poison, and then firing off another Poison Sting and the Cross Poison is going to be the play. If we were 1 away, but we were 3 away, so we're going to fire off 4 there. We're going to put up a shield here, no reason not to. They're going to Ice Beam us, as we are easily in Ice Beam range there. But now we're nearly at the back-to-back Cross Poisons. Cross Poison number 1 is going to do solid damage onto the Azu. We're looking to build up some more energy, fire off another Cross Poison, and if they don't throw their energy here, if they even have enough energy for a move, they will lose the game, as another Cross Poison is going to be able to pick up the KO on the Azumarill. GG's to this trainer. Alright, into this next game, and it's going to be some cringe in store for us. It is going to be a Wigglytuff lead. We are going to immediately pivot out into the Ariados, and they're going to switch out into a Lickitung. Lickitung is going to immediately get applied with a lunge debuff, and we are just going to spam out these lunges onto this Licky. They are going to be able to fire off another body slam, but they throw it on alignment, giving me a free Poison Sting's worth of energy, which is pretty massive when you're dealing with moves like 9 energy per fast move, like Poison Sting. They're going to fire off another move, and we are going to be able to no-shield this body slam because they have been debuffed. Firing off a lunge onto the Lickitung, this is going to apply another debuff and some solid damage onto them as well. They are going to shield it up, and we are going to go for a Cross Poison bait. This is the moment. Are we going to be able to pick up this shield? Yes, we are. They shielded up the bait, and now they are going to have to deal with a lunge landing onto them. They are now 3 stages debuffed, and now at this point, I know that they're going to make another body slam here, so I'm just going to let my Ariados go and get farm on whatever Pokemon I see is better for me. So I'm going to bring in the Clefable here. As we know, Meteor Mash is going to be very impactful onto the Clefable. They're going to fire off another body slam, but that doesn't matter. They're 3 stages debuff. We're looking for that full farm down, and we get it. In comes a Lanturn in the back, and we are going to fire off the Moonblast Nigh immediately. If we could get an attack debuff, that'd be pretty cool. I'm going to build up a bunch of energy. Make sure that we fire off this Moonblast once again onto the Lanturn. It is nearly going to KO. No, it does KO. And here we go. We're going to fire off another Meteor Mash on 4 here. Clefable coming in super clutch. This Meteor Mash will not be enough to KO. We're going to bring in the Machamp. We're getting torn to pieces, but not before they are. GG's to this trainer. In the final match of the video, it's going to be a battle of the ages. 2 different eras of Go Battle League, Shadow Machamp versus Shadow Feraligatr. And we are going to be able to outpace the Feraligatr to the cross chop. They no-shielded and get KO'd. What are they going to bring in? It's going to be the Annihilate. We're going to bring in our Ariados, and they switched for some reason. They resist every move we have unless we're running Trailblaze, but we are not. They have a much better response to our Ariados, but they're going to bring it in. They could have saved this Gligar for later. We were already countered by the Annihilate, but I switch, you switch. They're going to fire off the Aerial Ace. We're going to be able to make another lunge and double debuff this Gligar. And now this Gligar is in a position where if they no-shield this, that's fine. We can just come back in with the Machamp, and now we're going to try to reach a cross chop here. They are forced to throw energy, but they throw it on CMP. Oh my goodness, the cross chop should be picking up the knockout, but they are going to put up a shield, and now we have a shield advantage. We're going to let our Machamp go, and in comes the Clefable, not doing a whole lot of damage with these fast moves, but we are going to be able to get the fast move down. In comes the Annihilate. Oh no, trainer, say it ain't so. We're going to fire off the Moonblast. They're going to correctly shield it up, but it just doesn't matter. Clefable has 2 shields, and I'm willing to use them both. We are going to put up a shield. It's the Shadow Ball, and this is game over, and the opponent now knows it. GG's. If you made it to this point in the video, thanks so much for watching. It's greatly appreciated, and this is by no means a strategy I recommend anybody run. I lost 500 ELO points just for your guys' viewing entertainment, and I had a ton of fun, but even more importantly, I got to learn a little bit more about these Pokemon that are going to be a lot more common in the upcoming season. Getting to know their bulk and getting to actually, get a feel for their playstyle is a lot different than getting to know, just looking at PvPoke, seeing the stat product number, etc. But with all that being said, thanks again so much for watching. This has been Shmeaty. Hope to see you guys again next time, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.